Holy crap! This is huge. This is huge. Apparently Michael Keaton, not apparently, it's actually happening. Michael Keaton's in talks to return as Batman in the Flash movie, and that I'm at a loss for words. That is epic. That is straight up epic. So because with the Flash movie, honestly, that's my least. Well, before this news, that was my least anticipated movie. Don't get me wrong, I like Ezra Miller as the Flash. But when it comes to movies, that's on top of my head, the Flash is my least anticipated movie. I want to see it, I do, but judging from the stories, it's well, with the Flash, it's all over the place. Different directors, different writers, and the story, they don't know what they want. First it's a flashpoint, next it's not, and then it is, and it's not. And what did get me kind of hyped for the Flash movies, when the CW, which again, I don't watch the CW, it's not for me. It's definitely not for me. With the CW, when they introduced, I think, what is it called? Infinite Crisis. Is it Infinite Crisis? I'm pretty sure it's Infinite Crisis. Well, it's probably something else. But in that event, in the TV show, they introduced the movie Flash, which I did not think that was gonna happen. That actually did blow my mind. So when I saw that, I'm like, okay, they are committed with a Flash movie. They are. And now with AT&T on board, not on board, when they basically took over, and they brought back Zach back, I said, all right, this Zach thing's not going to be a one-off thing. Because when I saw the price that they're putting into this Zack Snyder Justice League, I'm like, no way. With the amount of money they're putting into this, it can't be a one-off. This is gonna it feels like a DCEU revival when I saw Zack Snyder's coming back. And with the teaser that we saw, definitely, I believe that's going to be a fit. I have no proof of this, but this is what I believe. And with the Flash, now with this news coming out, obviously, with Michael Keaton, he's coming back. Obviously, from what I'm seeing from this is not. Look, whether you like it or not, okay, let me start with this. Whether you like it or not, if you hate Zack Snyder's vision of the DCU or whatever, I think 100%, I'm pretty sure that Zack Snyder's vision is here to stay. Cause when Zack Snyder was out and that whole, debacle, and then the DCU it felt like it was standing still and releasing standalone movies that yet there's no arc. There's no story arc. I mean, there was like, I think they were building up to the Legion of Doom thing, which I don't think they're gonna do anymore. But it was just, it wasn't as huge as it was before. It was just like, yeah, standalones, that's it. But with the Flash and them putting Michael Keaton in it, I think what they're going with, now that they put Michael Keaton in it, they are going with the multiverse route. And before, when I said whether you like it or not, Zack Snyder's vision is here to stay. It is. With this move, they are really pushing for this, like I said, multiverse. But they're really trying to, basically, this Flash movie that's upcoming, Flashpoint, which they call it, is just gonna be Flashpoint in name only. Because I remember once when Zack Snyder was gone, many of the, I don't want to say fans, I could say, fans that didn't like the direction Zack Snyder was going, they were saying, oh, yes, this Flash movie is gonna be Flashpoint, but it's gonna reboot the entire DCEU. They're gonna reboot everything. Ben Affleck's gone, Gal Gadot's on, they're gonna start fresh. Which I hated that idea. I really hate that idea. I'm like, look, why can't you just do not a reboot, but a revival, like a rebirth? Like they did in the comics. They didn't reboot everything. It changed the status quo, if that makes sense. And I hated that. And then the people who wanted that, they just hated what Zack Snyder's vision, which is okay. But for forced reboot this early, it's like, come on, man. That's really dumb. But I'm glad, for me personally, I'm glad they're not doing that route. It seems like they're just using Flashpoint by name only, so they're going to introduce the concept of Flashpoint. This is what I think. They're going to introduce the concept of it, but they're not actually going to do it. So Flash will jump through different timelines, different dimensions, but he's not going to reboot everything. So you will see Thomas Wayne, you will see... And that's the other thing. When Michael Keaton's news was first announced, I'm seeing these huge commentators making some... they were making really... Again, I don't have proof, but they're making really... To me, they're making really stupid speculations. Like, I've seen... I forgot who it was, but I've seen numerous news people. When Michael Keaton was... This news broke out. They're saying, Michael Keaton's Batman, he's going to replace Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He's going to be the new Thomas Wayne, or he's going to be the new... Well, he's like the Nick Fury kind of character. He's gonna be the mentor to people. I'm thinking, where the hell are you getting your information from? If that... Look, I don't mind speculating, but they're saying it as this absolute fact that this is what's going to happen. I'm like, no way. There's no... So you're bringing Michael Keaton back as Batman to play Thomas... That doesn't make sense. In people's memories right now, what do people think when they think of Michael Keaton Batman? They think Bruce Wayne. Older Bruce Wayne. They don't think, he's going to be like a cameo. He's going to be like an Easter egg. He's just going to be Thomas Wayne. Why? Why? Why would you do... That makes no sense. I don't know where people are getting this idea for. Honestly, I think it's really dumb, in my opinion, because it makes no sense. Because when I saw that, and the director, I forgot who the director is of Flash. He said is that it's not going to be Flashpoint, like the entirety of Flashpoint. They're going to take elements from it, but it's going to reintroduce this multiverse aspect. So when they when they announced Michael Keaton, I was like, okay, cool. They are going with multiverse route. So basically, what I'm guessing is that the DCU exists, but the other comic book universes that exist under Warner Brothers umbrella, I don't want to say it's canon. I mean, I guess, yeah, it's canon, but they're not going to touch it. Like, yes, we acknowledge it exists, if that makes sense. So, here's what I'm thinking. So, in the DCU, you have Batman, Superman, Ben Affleck, whatever. But with Flashpoint, they will probably show glimpses of different universes, maybe the Green Lantern one, hell, maybe even the Christopher Nolan one, where there's no Superman, no Green Lantern, it's just a guy in a cape, Batman, Christian Bale, but they're not going to touch it. I don't think I don't want them to touch it, but it's just for them to acknowledge, yes, the movies that were rebooted in real time, like Batman Returns or Batman Forever, stuff like that, or Superman Returns, Christopher Reeves, they all exist. It's canon, but when it's not being interfered with. Like, the DCU acknowledges their existence. That's why I think the route that they're going with. And if they are, that is pretty sweet. That is an absolute perfect way to do this. And I think that, and I believe this even more thanks to the Flash, the two Flashes in the TV show with Ezra Miller and Grant Gustin. I think that's where they're going with this. But this whole thing where people are like, Ben Affleck, I've seen people like he's gonna replace Ben Affleck or something. I've seen that going around. I'm like, no, dude, they're doing a multiverse thing. They're just adding more. And I do believe this. I think they're gonna do a Batman Beyond. That's why I think where Michael Keaton, he's super old. He's gonna have Terry McGinnis. He's gonna have his dog Titus, and it's gonna be lit. When I saw the news, I was like, holy crap! It really does feel like a DCEU revival. It's not even a revival. It's like, I don't want to say expansion, but that's the only word that comes to my head. It's like a proper expansion, and this is a good time for it because the MCU. Because the problem with it's not the problem. I mean, yeah, I have to say it is a problem. DC is that they tried, DC and the fans, one of the pushback is from the fans because they want it to be just like Marvel instead of, hey, individual movies, then Avengers, Justice League, sorry, and then individual movies again. They want that framework because Marvel set that framework. So when Zack Snyder tried to do his own thing, where it's like, look, you guys all know who these characters are. We're just gonna tell one huge epic story with these characters. There was resistance, and the old guard of Warner Brothers, which I found out that they're completely gone because everyone online is saying that they're completely gone. Kevin Tsuchihara, they're gone. Most of the old guards are gone, which I do believe that they are gone because honestly, they kept Snyder out. But now that he's back, thanks to AT&T, I was like, oh, okay, there's a new people in charge now. It's not the same Warner Brothers. So they are straight going through this multiverse thing, and I can't wait for it. So people will tell different stories in the movies. People will tell different stories in HBO Max or in other mediums, but they're all connected. So Robert Pattinson, this is actually good. So Robert Pattinson, which I don't know, but that's the thing. Is Robert Pattinson still in the DCEU? Because I remember Matt Reeves. I forgot when it was. Like this was like years ago. Not years, but it feels like years. Is that yes? This is gonna be within the DCEU. So I was thinking, okay, Robert Pattinson is gonna play a young Ben Affleck, a young Bruce Wayne. We're gonna see him, do all this stuff. But now, thanks to the Snyder's coming back. I don't know. I think it's safe to say they're gonna put him in his own universe. It's like a standalone. It's gonna be his own universe. I think that's what they're gonna do with it. I don't see what else they could do with it. But this is huge, man. This is huge. If they bring back who else can they bring back? They can literally bring back anyone, and they could be canon, quote unquote. That would be cool. They could bring back. Oh, who can they bring back? They could bring back Christopher Reeve. Jeez, Superman Returns. Brandon Routh. They could bring him back, and they could do because that was the best part of the. I hate CW, but I saw clips on YouTube of Brandon Routh as Superman, and that was epic. I want that on the HBO, man. I don't want the people of CW even touch that idea. Honestly, the CW is trash. But Brandon Routh as super old Superman, but he's not. He who lost everything. Because if I remember in that episode, he basically lost everyone, but he's still the same. It's like a good twist on Injustice. That would be great. I'd love to see that. This is a great time, man. It's like a huge DCEU revival. And they have to do it now because the MCU, it's not done. But the whole entire story, the 10-year story, is done. The saga's complete. That's how I feel anyways. I have no other interest in other MCU movies. Endgame was good. I mean, yes, I had huge problems with it. But it was for the most part a solid end. Like characters had their ends, and now they're setting up for new ones. I'm like, look, I'm done. This is a great end. I'm done. Now this is DC's time if they do it right. I think they are. They're bringing Darkseid. They're bringing all this. New Gods. I have no idea what's going on with New Gods, but yeah, this is a great time to be a DC fan. The birth of the multiverse. This is amazing.